Jason here with the Oklahoma Child Care Resource and Referral Association. Welcome to the third of our Program tab videos. Now today we're going to be taking a look at what we in Oklahoma call our TA or Technical Assistance screen. Now this is one of the most customizable sections of all of the WLS systems. So if things don't quite match up with what you're seeing on your particular screen, don't panic. This is a very customizable section, but we're going to go through kind of what we do here, and it might give you some ideas about where things live in your system and how things will kind of flow for what you're doing. So as we did before, we're going to go into the Program tab, and we're going to look for Miss Jane Doe. And I must have had a filter on, so go ahead and get rid of that and get into Miss Jane Doe. And once again, as you saw in our previous Program tab videos, we come up on the Update Data tab, and that's where all of your basic information is going to go. All the way at the far right, you see this Coaching TA tab. And again, this may be something different for your particular area, but this is what we have for Oklahoma. So for us, we have the program name, the date that this particular TA or training occurred, who did it, what kind of delivery it was, and we'll go ahead and put one in. We'll just say this was an on-site one. Now, in Oklahoma, we have a number of quality initiatives that we try to promote to our providers. And for this one, we'll just say this was just an ongoing technical assistant. Now, our recipient name, if I could type while I was talking, and their birthday, we'll say they were born on January 15th of 1967. That seems like a good year. Now, when you're entering in your recipient names, this is when it becomes very important that you keep this consistent from one training to the next as you're entering them in the system. When you run a report of your TAs and you're trying to count your recipient names, the system, if you use Excel to count your entries, it looks at unique values. And so if you put Jane Doe in 1, and then the next time you go out and do a TA with this person, you just put Jane, Excel counts that as 2 different people. So for every entry, it needs to be consistent for what information you're putting in. Now, here in Oklahoma, we have the name, we have the CECPD registry number, which is one of our statewide training agencies, and then their birthday, and that helps us keep track between the various agencies that register professional development hours. Your state might be different. You might have different information that you're requiring, but with all of it, just try to be as consistent as you can be. That'll make it a whole lot easier when you go back and want to do a report to see how many people you've actually given these trainings to. If for some reason Jane was not the only person, you can hit the Add New Recipient button and then add another one. And once again, I can't type and talk at the same time. So let's say this is her daughter, and she was born in June of, let's say 1998. That seems like a good number too. If for some reason you enter one in that's incorrect, you say, I don't need this person in here after all, you can hit the red trash can and it will give you a confirmation message. Are you sure you want to delete this message? Yes. And it'll take it right out. In the title box, that's what the actual event was. Now, if you look over here to the lower right, you also see a project title. Here in Oklahoma, we treat that project title as more of an umbrella. So if you're going out to a provider multiple times and you're doing several things with them trying to increase their quality, The project title would be like the overall issue. So you could say Jane Doe quality improvement. And then this title might be, let's say it's on room arrangements. And then the next time you go out, you might be doing one on transition activities and maybe another one on ways of incorporating outdoor play into the day. Just depends on what's going on with your particular training, what you're doing with that particular provider. Here in Oklahoma, we use the project title as that overarching theme of what's going on, and then the title as what this actual visit, this actual technical assistance is going to be covering. Here in Oklahoma, we have a number of trainings that we offer that these TAs could be tied to. In this case, we'll just say it's R&R training. For the audience, these are the audiences we have here in Oklahoma. Again, this will depend on your area, what you use. But for the sake of this demonstration, we'll just hit all ages. Language, what language is it in? Here in Oklahoma, we offer English and Spanish trainings. Again, it might vary depending on where you are. And your follow-up date. This is when you're expected to go out again and say, how are things going? Did this work? What can we do to help you some more? And let's just say the 9th. That'll be a good day. Your notes field, that is the actual events that happened. So what did you do? What kind of activities did you promote? Kind of outcomes that you expect? Those professional notes that kind of give you a play-by-play of what that visit was. Now, I will be the first to admit I am not a child care specialist. I am a computer guy. So here, use your best judgment for what you think needs to be included. The notes field is limited to 1,500 characters, though. That's usually enough, but if it's not, there is a way to upload documents to the system if your notes get a little long-winded, and we'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. So here in Oklahoma, we also track our timings. And these are really good for when we report to our funders and say, here's how much time we're spending on these activities. We're spending, 40% of our time travel, so we need some more travel dollars. All of that kind of thing really comes back to this section right here where we can say, well, for this particular visit, I spent 15 minutes getting things prepped for it. I was there for 90 minutes for the visit time. It took me 20 minutes to drive there and drive back. And then when I got home, I had to email her again, and it took me 10 minutes to get that ready and sent. You can be as accurate here as your particular region would like. Here in Oklahoma, we generally say round up to the nearest 5 minutes. That's accurate enough for us. For our travel time, we do say to our specialists that they need to use either the Google Maps or Yahoo Maps estimate or an actual travel time. So if, for instance, you get caught in traffic or something like that, go ahead and document that. Those are real world things that our funders do like to know about. So if your travel time is delayed for whatever reason, or if it takes you an abnormally long amount of time, go ahead and add that into the time estimate. Here in Oklahoma, we do a pre and post needs assessment. This next section is where we enter that information, and these are things that we do on our core competencies. So for this one, we're saying that this is on room arrangements. So our core competency here could be health, safety, and nutrition. Equipment, space, encourage physical development. Pre-needs score, let's say, was a 1, and then after we finished, we had a 2-point increase. This is all very customizable for your particular system. The remaining sections that we have here in Oklahoma are all related to the various needs and guidelines that we use on how we can help facilities. So for instance, on this one, we might say learning environments and curriculum in the spacing and furnishings, display for children, indoor space, room arrangement, definitely. Use your best professional judgment here. And these, again, are very, very customizable to your area. So don't panic if you don't see these in your particular WLS setup. Now, as you are going through and filling these things out for what you need for your particular training that you're doing, all of these things can be reported on. And so once we have saved this and it's added itself to Miss Jane Doe's profile here, we can go out and do a report and say, well, this month we've done, 25 that focused on indoor space, furnishing for routine care, that kind of thing. And these are pretty much available for everybody who's in the system. Early learning guidelines, these are standards that are put out by the state of Oklahoma for various things. Most of these are used during quality improvement. So the providers are trying to increase their quality rating. We go through these with them, helping them improve the quality of their program. So here in Oklahoma, that's about it as far as the TA is concerned. Now, we do have a few changes in the works, but they are not finalized yet. But after you have entered all of this, hit that save button. It'll tell you as it saves successfully, and then hit this view all visits button, and it will take you back out to a list of all of the TA that has ever been done under this unique record ID number. Now you see the one we just entered is this Jane Doe DBA Fast and Furious Child Care Center, whereas before it was Jane Doe's Child Care Center. That just reflects a name change that we put in here at some point, but it's still under this unique record ID. So if you ever have a name change, you don't have to worry about losing the TA that you've done in the past. If for some reason your notes field is long-winded and you need more than the 1,500 characters that is provided there, in the Documents tab, you can upload a document. Now it says here max file size is 3 megabytes. This is customizable. You just need to talk with the folks at WLS if for some reason 3 megs is not enough. Now that is a pretty big Word document, so I wouldn't worry about that too much unless you just really start getting a bunch of errors that it's saying the file is too large. It does allow Word documents, Excel documents, PDFs, and text documents. So those 6, you can upload them. It uploads like any other file type that you might see in any other upload, just like you would be sending an email or uploading something to one of the social media sites. You can name the document, give it a brief description, and then attach it to a TA project title. Now, when you name your document, here in Oklahoma, we really recommend that you name those documents after the visit title. It just helps keep it a little bit clearer because when you look at all of the documents, these are not necessarily attached to specific visits. And so in order to tell which of these documents go with which visits, you either need to do something in the name of the document or in the description to where you can keep those straight. So guys, that's really it on the TA tab. I don't do a lot in the TA tab because I am the database person. I don't go out and visit facilities, but that's pretty much what we do here in Oklahoma. So if you need additional help, your administrator will be happy to walk you through where and what needs to go into this section for your particular version of WLS. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Come on back next time and we will start taking a look at our referral tab, and we will take a look at how to enter one in, searching, all of that fun stuff. We'll see you next time.